Joining us now by phone is Allison Terry. She was in Boston today and was a witness to the explosions and the chaos. She's also a staff writer for the Christian Science Monitor. Allison, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
Can you tell us where you were during the blast and describe what you witnessed?
Yes, I was downtown on Boylston Street. I was actually in the Apple store, which is just a couple blocks away from the finish line and from where the two explosions took place. I was on the third floor of the Apple store, and we felt a big boom and heard a very loud noise. And at first, people were just confused. We had no idea what that was. And then we heard the second explosion. And because Apple stores have the glass front, you can see down into the street. We just saw people running and screaming and running away from where the finish line was. And the employees in the Apple store had us go down into the basement, where they held us for about 7 to 10 minutes before evacuating us into a back alley where police were just telling us to get as far away from the area as possible.
And Allison, take me through the last couple of hours from that time and where you are now. Can you describe the mood in Boston, what you've been seeing and hearing?
Yeah, I think it's just shock. I think people are in disbelief. Marathon Monday in Boston is a really big deal. People are so happy and energetic. It's a very big community day. It's a holiday and also the marathon. And so there were just so many people out on the streets earlier, just so joyful, cheering on the runners, kids, families, just enjoying the day. And after the explosion, when I was evacuated into the street, it was just, people weren't panicking so much as they were just confused. They didn't know what had happened. People were on their cell phones, so the network was flooded and you couldn't really get through to anyone. People crying, looking for their loved ones. And so I kind of had to take a roundabout way, and I went back to the Christian Science Monitor newsroom, where I could actually see footage from CNN and local TV of what had happened and kind of the extent of the damage and the injured and the loss of life. And on my way home from work, it just, people were really subdued. I talked to a runner who I saw on the street, and I asked her where she was, and she had finished the race before the explosion, but her husband had been in the stands very close to where they were, and they were just grateful to be safe and were trying to find their car to get back to their hotel. And it was just a mood, a very kind of dampened spirit, and people grateful to be safe, but also just really feeling for the families of the people who have been most affected by this.
All right, Allison Terry, thank you so much for your experience and in sharing that with us today.